So let's sit in Sukhasana. Fold the palms. Have the hands towards the base of the breastbone. Ascend the side body up. Feel the heart lifting from within. And let's chant together. Feel the sound really resonating in your chest. Use your abdomen to squeeze the air out. Your head to your heart, feeling that the sound comes from the whole of the body. The Om mantra as a gesture is sounded by the whole body. And then rest your hands down, open your eyelids, raise your head up and stretch out your legs. Come up to standing, grab a strap. So first of all, be in Tadasana. So just to reiterate what I've just said, I said be in Tadasana. So we place the body, grip the outer shins, lift the frontal thighs, lift the side chest, sacrum in, coccyx in, arms extend down, face forward. So there's all these actions, and then there's a be in Tadasana. So be in this position. Be yourself right now in this position. Arrive here. So there's a being, not just a doing. There's a doing and a being. Okay, so let's do our leg raise. If you can work with the wall, work with the wall. Otherwise, you can place a support. So you're going to take it out to the side, which is called Pajva. So you place the belt around the arch of the foot. So you lift the leg up, take the knee out to the side, and then place the foot. Oh, God, that's exactly what I didn't want to happen. Be careful of the banging buckles. And then push the foot into the wall and suck the leg into the hip socket. And then stretch the arm in the other direction, and then look down and check that your hip and your foot are in line. Can you see there's a tendency often to be at an angle? So I think everyone except Claire, just bring your leg down or bend your knee and just wiggle your foot in a little bit closer so that there's real work to straighten the leg. So you're here with the elbow bent, and then in order to straighten the lifted leg, you suck the leg into the hip socket. Obviously it doesn't need to be as high as mine, and this is not the first yoga pose I've done today. So have it lower if you find that's going to help. Feel the lift of the front body. And release. Turn around, let's do the other side. Pajva Uttita Hasta Padangustasana. Raise the other leg, place the belt, stand tall. So when you straighten the leg, feel that you're really gripping that outer thigh into the hip. You're kind of sucking the leg into the hip socket. But at the same time, the outside hip is gripping in, and then stretch your middle arm, the free arm, and broaden your chest. Can you press the root of the lifted thigh down and take your waist back? Beth, that's much better, Julia, good. So now work to straighten that lifted leg. Pressing the thigh down. Can you straighten the lifted leg? Rails, that's this too strong for your inner thigh. Do you want to have the foot lower so you can straighten the leg, or have it supported if it's going to aggravate the inner thigh? And then release and bring your leg down. Then Adho Mukha Svanasana. This is the first one, so have your hands almost as wide as your mat and your feet almost as wide as your mat, and then stretch up. Feel that your hips are really light and lifting up, but keep your coccyx into the body. So we're lifting the root of the thighs up. Feel that space. Yes, that's it. And come down. And we're going to do Jatar Parivartanasana, which is a stomach twist. So I know that there's a bit of sunshine coming in. Let's see if you can see. So you will know this pose anyway. So knees are into the chest and the legs go across to the opposite side. But when they go to the opposite side, so go to the side, the underneath knee reaches forward. So I've got to suck the underneath leg back into the hip and stretch the top leg so that the knees are more level. And then I'm pressing this opposite shoulder down. So I'm trying not to do that, basically. Okay, have a go. I hope you can see that you're trying to keep the knees level. Arms wide, so at your own speed, own distance. Remember, the knees stay right into the body, Claire, and the feet rest down towards the buttocks. Go to the right and then to the left. Look at the knees. Notice how the underneath knee goes goes long, and the top knee goes short. So you've got to suck the underneath leg back into the hip more and stretch the top thigh away more. Do you get it, Julia?
Sorry, can I check with this one? I've never been sure. Do you inhale or exhale as you take your legs over?
I normally exhale because it's a twist.
Yeah, okay.
It feels nice to breathe out. Try it, everyone. See what it feels good. Feel what your breathing wants to do. So just do a couple on each side and then rest your feet to the floor when you've done even so I can see that you're done. Keep the sides of your body long. Keep the legs together, Ike. See how the knees are separating. Work those legs, squeeze them in. Wake up the belly band. Good. Rest your feet to the floor, everyone, and be in an even position. Once you've done both sides, exhale. Then roll to your side to come up. So this was the thing I was trying to work out earlier. You're going to do this, you know how we do our leg stretches and we take the leg out to the side? Well, this one is taking the leg across. And normally we try and keep the bottom foot upright like that. But I'm going to let you turn that leg as you take the leg across. Okay? Let me show you what I mean. So you're going to let the bottom leg turn And then you're going to take the leg across at the same level as your hips onto a brick or a wall. Okay, now you can see that my lower leg has started to slide because the legs don't like to separate. So the part of the work of this method is to keep this thigh pressing back. The leg on the floor has to press back. Okay, let's have a go. So you're going to take your right leg over your body onto a brick or 4 blocks at the wall. So you may need to try it for size a few times. I used a brick on its highest point, so the brick was as tall as it possibly can be. So just try it and get your measurement. And then once you're there, lengthen the side body and try and keep the underneath leg pressing away from the leg that's resting on the brick. So I think it's preferable to have the brick at a wall, Ike, rather than the lifted leg. I know but because you've got a corner, you could organise yourself to have both on the wall, but let's not complicate matters for now, although Akiko seems to have worked that out. Yeah, that's it. Have the brick on its highest point, I think, Akiko, just so that you still have space in the pubis. That's it, Ray. And then lengthen that top hip away from the waist. So you're keeping the sides of the body long. And the sides of the body are staying long, not just because of the sides of the body, but because we're working the hips. We're moving the hips away from the waist and pressing the root of the thigh away and keeping the thigh muscle pressing to the bone. Now, what feels nice here? Can you feel an exhalation to release the abdomen? So, Ike, your pelvis has gone towards the wall. You're too far from the wall, I think. That's it. You've got to suck the lifted leg back into the hip socket. Go closer to that brick. Move your body, be more on the purple mat. And then the others come back up. It's quite strong, isn't it? It's a subtle but strong, yeah. And then that's already better, but can you see the lower leg? The pelvis is going to the wall a bit, Ike, and to other side. So probably easiest to just turn around unless you've got wall either side. So the leg comes across, but you mustn't let the buttock and the lower leg fly towards the wall. You've got to keep your straight line and keep sucking the lifted leg back into the hip socket. So when you press the foot into the wall, it helps you to connect the leg back into the hip. Lovely, that's looking good. So it's the legs too high up, I think that's what's happening. Like have the foot the same height as the hip. And you'll be holding it with the other hand, remember? So the left arm is reaching wide. That's it. Now straighten the lower leg. Notice how the lower leg bends and sort of stays stuck to the other leg. So try to get that distinction of the legs. So the underneath leg, the underneath thigh presses away from the wall. And then exhale. And then as you inhale, feel that really buoyant top chest, top armpit, loads of space. It's like flooding with in-breath. And then feel your exhalation ringing across the abdomen. And then come back up. And again to Adho Mukha Svanasana. We're going to do Ikapada, so have enough space behind you. so that you can raise one leg and then the other. So start with your normal dog pose and get that length in your side body. Allow your body to open up, get that distinction between pelvis and leg. So move the root of the thigh back. Feel your tummy, the whole of the front of your body, feel how long it is in this pose. And now bring your feet together. Try and keep the heels back and down as much as you can, but if you can't get the heels down, don't worry. And then stretch the right leg up. Ekapada. Press the thigh up, not just the foot. Press the thigh up. Lower the leg down. Raise the left leg, pressing the thigh up to the ceiling. The thigh, lift the thigh. And then the other side. Rest in between if you need to. Be careful of your rib cage there, Ike. Control the rib cage. That's it. And lift the thigh of the other leg. That's it. Lift the thigh. Well done. Control the waist. And lower the leg. And then swing your one foot forwards or hop both feet forwards and come up to standing. Okay, so grab yourself a chair or a stool or something that you can place your feet on. So what I'm really wanting to do is for us to all start to get really used to handstand. And I think we'll mainly do that once we come back into the room together, but at least as a group, because I know some of you obviously can do handstand, but as a group, I kind of want us to work into it together. So in handstand, one of the things that happens is you do your dog pose arms, so the arms are firm and straight, and the shoulders, but in handstand, the shoulders are above the wrists. Can you see? The shoulders are above the wrists, whereas in downward facing dog, the shoulders are back. So in handstand, you bring the shoulders above the wrists, and then what happens with the back is you move the dorsal spine in, but you suck the thighs into the hips. So now the hips are above the shoulders too. So I'm sucking, let's see if I can, the thigh to the hip. So that's what we're doing now. Have a go. It's actually quite a nice feeling. So spread your palms and get your shoulders over your wrists. You come down at any point, so we're all doing our own timings with this. So make sure your arms are firm before you walk in. And then lift your hips and bend your elbows very slightly, those who hyperextend. That's it. And then draw your thighs towards your hips. And then step down. And then if you've got a loose t-shirt on, just tuck your t-shirt in, because I can't really see what's happening to the chest, because I kind of get a funny view when the t-shirt comes down. So spread the palms, place the feet, walk in, and can you see what I'm doing with my hips? I'm drawing the thighs back and lifting the hips up. And the abdomen lifts as well. So nice. Have another go. That lift of the abdomen is very freeing. That's it. Now walk in and suck the legs to the pelvis. That's it. That's it, Hiko. Good. And don't do any more than that. Press the thighs up. Well done. Move your dorsal spine in, not the head, and then step down. And we come to Uttanasana. So if you need to use bricks, use bricks. So first of all, concave back. Can you get the similar lift in the abdomen as you had just now with that handstand? Can you feel the legs are sucking up and the roots of the thighs are really digging in and the abdomen is lifting? And then as you stretch forward, get the distinction between leg and waist. So lengthen the waist forward. Yeah, feel that length in the front body. And then keep it as you come to the forward extension with the head down. Keep the legs lifting up so your trunk can release down. Hands on the floor by the outsides of the feet. Head down. And just breathe out to release any excess heat. And then firm your legs and inhale to come up. Okay, move your chairs out of the way. So we'll just touch on this briefly because I find this is a great way of strengthening my abdomen. I'm going to turn my mat diagonal so you can see more clearly. So from sitting, again, we're trying to get this length of the front body out of the legs. So I'm not down here and my flesh of my tummy is gathering. So we're trying to get out of the pelvis. Then the arms go wide like swimming. The legs come over towards the hands to a kind of Halasana. And then the arms swim around. And then you go back to Uttanasana. And I'm doing it slowly so you can see what we're doing. But we can do it slightly faster. Okay? So if you feel that your back will hurt on the ground, feel free to put another mat or to put a blanket. If you want to do it slowly to begin with, you may feel more comfortable with that. So the arms go wide and you're coming through an Ardha Navasana. Can you feel that lower abdominal area is working? And then you bring your body down and your legs swing over towards the space behind you with your arms above your head. And then you exhale and come forwards with the arms and the hands. Swim the arms around to go forwards and then sit up. And we'll do it again in a second. Let me just show again, because once you've done it once, you kind of got a better idea. So here, can you see the Ardha Navasana? Uttanasana. Okay, have a go. And then you can get more momentum. Keep it fluid, fluid, fluid. Arms stay down towards the ground, then to the toes in the Paschimottanasana, head down. And then swim the arms out again, that's it. And breathe and flow. Swim down, arms down. That's keep the arms down near the ground. And then make this one your last one. Finishing in Paschimottanasana. And then sit up. So that's just an introduction to it, but you'll find if you do quite a few of them afterwards, you'll feel your abdominals. Now, as we go into Navasana now, you might feel already that you have worked your tummy. Actually, I was hoping to do it with the legs supported, actually, on a chair. Sorry, because I don't want to overly do the tummy part. So grab your chair and Navasana. Because I want you to just, the reason for these ones is to get the lift of the front of the body. So the feet are supported and lift the front of the body. And you can do it with your hands on the floor initially and lift the front of the body and keep that lift and extend the arms. Look straight, body's at an angle there. Ike, have the body at an angle. Lean back there, body at an angle, that's it. Kiko. Lengthen the front of the body. And then carefully bring your hands to the floor and bend your knees and stand up. So you can put your chair away and grab a couple of bricks or one brick. And I'm going to move my mat back. You can do the same. So we're just going to go through a few standings, but I'd like us to do Gomukhasana first, just to get some more openness in the chest. So standing in Tadasana, legs together, feel the bones of the legs pressing into each other so that the bones are like two lines like this. And then the front of the abdomen lifts up. Don't let the legs be out away from each other. And then feel that as you do that, the organs and the abdomen lifts up. And then Gomukhasana. That's looking good, Julia. Feel long from the hip to the armpit. From the hip to the armpit. And the other side. Change arms. Lengthen from the hip to the armpit. Keep the throat relaxed, jaw relaxed. And release. So we come to Veerabhadrasana 3, and we're going to use our hands on the wall. So just have a quick look here. So from Ardha Uttanasana, keeping the sides of the body really long. So we're long from the hips to the armpits. Oh, I've not got enough space. You raise the right leg up, and as you can see, the foot faces down, not this way. So you press the thigh to the ceiling and lift the inner edge, inner leg, and lift, and lift. Okay, let's have a go. Hands to the wall, and lengthen from your hips to your armpits. Bring your feet together. Raise the right leg by lifting the inner thigh. Press the thigh up, and down, other leg. Lift the inner thigh, press the thigh up, lift the thigh, inner thigh, eye more. That's it. And down, other side. Legs stay straight and raise the leg. Inner thigh, inner thigh, inner thigh. Yes. And down. And again. Side body long. Don't let the body become short. Inner thigh more, Ike. Foot lower. That's it. And lower your leg. Inhale and come up. And come back to the center. So we're going to work in the same way now for Ardha Chandrasana. So I'm just going to open my door so I've got a bit more space. Because in Ardha Chandrasana, we want to make sure that, oops, carpet slippery. So we're here in Trikonasana and we need to have length from the hip to the armpit. So we've got the brick there. And then when we move the brick to place it away, we don't put it here because we want to maximise the distance from the hip to the armpit. So we're going to take the hand to there. So we lengthen from the hip to the armpit and then transfer the weight and stretch up. And hopefully the thigh is pressing back so the waist can lengthen away. Coccyx in and then stretch up. So you don't actually need to have such a high brick, you could probably have a lower brick. Okay, so we're going to go to the right first. So I'm just going to do it, I'm not going to do it to the full length. So take your legs apart and have your brick behind you near your right foot. Stretch your arms wide and lift your chest up. Can you feel that length already from the hips to the armpits? So it's not just about lengthening the side body, it's about lifting the armpits. So the armpits lift up away from the ribs. Turn the left foot in, the right leg out. Trikonasana. So move your right armpit away from your ribs. Right armpit away from your ribs, and at the same time root of the thigh away from your waist and waist away from your leg. Then bend your knee, move your brick as far as you can, coming onto your tiptoes. Reach that block really far and then transfer your weight and raise the leg up. Have the brick underneath the shoulder. Maybe not quite so far, Kiko. Keep the sides of the body really long and raise the thigh. Lift the leg with the thigh. Lift the thigh. Move the standing leg thigh away from the waist. Then with your exhalation, bend your knee, take the foot down, come through Trikonasana, bringing the brick back towards your shin. That's nicely done, Julia. And inhale to come up. Turn your feet forwards and join your legs. Other side. Any questions on that? Anyone found anything tricky with it, or just need to do again other side? Okay. So legs wide, toes forward. Spread the chest. Right leg in, left leg out. Extend to the side, place your hand on your brick. Then again, don't let this underneath side of you get swallowed up. Move the root of the thigh back towards the right foot and lengthen this left armpit away from the leg. Then bend your knee and reach your hand as far as you can, coming onto your fingertips, and then launch forwards and raise the thigh. Lift the thigh of that right foot. Lift the thigh. Just come down again. I can just check because your standing foot has turned. Can you see? So just keep the standing foot straight. And then Akiko, either look towards the screen or look down because you're straining your neck forward. That's it. Then with your out breath, exhale and bend the standing leg, take the foot down, better. And then come up. Turn your feet and step or jump your legs together. Then be in Tadasana, feeling the bones of the legs underneath you. Sides of the body long chest lifting. Okay, so we're going to go to Pavrita Trikonasana now. But I think to help us, we'll do Pavrita Trikonasana very quickly, just to get the feeling. So let me just show you. Right leg forward. This way around. So you all know the posture. But what I want us to feel is that when you take your hand across, you'll long from this hip to this armpit as this shoulder blade moves in. So the more you move this shoulder blade in, the more you feel that you're getting length on this underside, and the abdomen is coming with you. But you'll move, but the leg mustn't follow. The leg must stay back. Okay, so let's do it with the heel to the wall, just to make it easier, so we've got stability for the back heel. So just find any bit of wall for your left heel and step your right foot forward. Just move your mat though, so you've got the mat to support you. Bring your hands to your hips and lift the frontal pelvic rim, lift the abdominal contents so that the legs are helping the abdominal contents to lift up. Right foot is forward, yeah. A good wide distance. Brick is on the little toe side. And then extend forwards and take the left hand to the across to the block on the little toe side. And lengthen forwards from that left hip to that left armpit and turn, moving that shoulder blade away from me, Akiko. Left shoulder blade, move it away from me. Keep lengthening from your left hip to your left armpit as you stretch the top arm up. Claire, that's good. Come down and just have your legs wider, further apart. Lengthen from the left hip to the left armpit. Lengthen the abdomen forward. And then come up, leading with the left arm, and change legs. That looked better, Claire. I hope that felt you get more length, don't you? So we're just doing, conveniently you've missed Pavrita Trikonasana, Ray. We're doing the left side now. If you want to do the right side briefly, you can. So right heel at the wall, left foot forward. So again, notice how the abdomen, we want it to be going in and up. So lift the front pelvic rim and then stretch the arms wide and swing the right hand down to the brick. Keep the right thigh pressing back towards the wall. Keep the right heel pressing to the wall, but lengthen from the hip through the belly towards that right armpit and move the shoulder blade in, the right shoulder blade in, and stretch the top arm up. Ike, you might be a good case for legs further apart as well. It's not definite, but again, Claire, you're quite short in your stride. And we want the tummy to be really long. Long tummy, that's it. And if you fall, it's because you're exploring the pose. That's it. Can you take the brick lower, Ike? And lengthen from the right hip to the right shoulder blade as you stretch up. And then everybody inhale and come up, leading with the right arm. Much better, Claire. And turn to join your feet. Join your legs. Are you okay there? Julia is aggravating that spot. Little bit, okay. So you may find that Pavrita Trikonasana is too much for your leg. and that you need to have a chair and a wall. Yeah, so I've got the chair, the wall, and then I can turn. Okay, so you're not, so I could even, this leg is not overstraining. Okay, so it's like that. It's quite intuitive. Leg is on the wall, arm is on the chair, and you're using the chair to turn. Okay, so the bar is, you're going to be turning your right foot forward, so the bar is to the right. Yeah, exactly, perfect. Okay, so the others will do it without the chair. It's just because she's got an old injury, we just don't want it to be aggravated. So have your, in fact, let's all step forwards into the pose rather than going from the side. So have your brick to the left hand side of your mat. I'm going to show you from here just so that you know. So we're coming into Pavrita Trikonasana where we were a moment ago. So just have a quick glance at the mirror, at the screen, sorry. And then we bend the knee and move the brick forward, but we keep it on the big toe side, so we've got a bit more space. And then raise the leg up and continue to turn. So the trick is to keep this leg lifting. So you've got to work that thigh as you twist. So it's really nice with the foot on the wall. So have your brick to the left hand side of your mat. We're not using the wall, but we're stepping forward because it's an easy way to go into the pose. So turn your left foot out and step your right foot forward. Stretch your arms wide. Feel both feet to the floor, the hips firm, your body long. Pavrita Trikonasana to start. Exhale, swing the left hand down to the brick on the outer shin. Lengthen from your hip to your armpit as you move that shoulder blade in and stretch your top arm up. Turn. Then bend your right knee and reach with your brick forwards, taking your brick onto the big toe side, so back over to the left. And then as you launch forward, raise your left thigh up. Raise the thigh. Be long in your crown of your head, crown of the head away from the foot, Julia. And then bend the standing leg, take the foot down through Pavrita Trikonasana and inhale, come up and turn to the side, join your legs. So this posture, just so that you get a bit of perspective, I did for an assessment, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, and I really had to work on it because the leg feels like lead, doesn't it? That leg, that lifted leg. And it's literally just like, it's just practice that helps that leg to lift up. Okay, other side last time. So turning the right foot out and stride the left foot forward. Face the front leg and even up your body because we've only done one side of the twist, so we're feeling a bit uneven. So turn your pelvis to face the small end of your mat. Lengthen both sides of the body evenly. Lift your chest. Then spread your arms wide. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hand to your brick on the outer ankle, outer shin, and stretch the arm up, left arm up. Lengthening from the right hip to the right shoulder blade. Then bend your knee and take the brick further forwards but back over onto the big toe side and bring your weight forward and be long from the hip to the armpit as you raise the leg up. Lift the thigh up. Lift the thigh and turn and exhale, bend the knee, take the foot down, come through Pavrita Trikonasana to then swing the right arm to bring you up, to face forward and join your legs together. Come back to Tadasana. Feel your legs underneath you like one leg. Relax the jaw, eyes open. Okay, so we're going to do a wide leg forward bend now. Pavrita Trikonasana. Have bricks if you need. Take the legs wide. Turn your toes in. See that the leg muscles are lifting up. And then bring your hands to your hips and we'll do the concave back stage upright to begin with. So as you move your coccyx into the body, lengthen the side chest. Urdhva Mukha, lift the armpits. Press the dorsal spine in. Lift the armpits up away from the ribs. And look up, but keep the thighs pressing strongly back. And then with your out breath, go forwards to concave back. Keep the sides of the body long like you've been doing so well in those previous poses. And keep that length now as you take your hands back between your feet and bring your trunk down. Lift the shoulder muscles up. Allow the sides of your spine to spread away from the spine. Feel your back spreading. With your inhalations, feel your back spreading. And again, a slightly longer inhalation, really spreading your back away from the spine. Elbows in line with the wrists, shoulders up, like a 3-point headstand. Have your hands wider than near your shoulders, Akiko. The hands are too narrow. And then straighten the arms. Extend your trunk forward with a grip in your hips. Inhale to come up. Join your legs. Let's go to Shushasana now. If you're not doing Shushasana, I'll give you something else, or you can actually probably just go to the next pose. But otherwise, you're going to go into Shushasana. So you fold your mat in half and half again. Shusha is head asana posture, is headstand or head balance. But I often like, you know how your mat is like this or like this. Now I often like to do headstand with the mat like this, because when you place your elbows, they can't go very wide because there's no mat for it. So it helps you to keep the elbows in line with the shoulders. Whereas this way, the elbows can end up being quite wide. It's just a little quirk, it's not a big deal. And then place your mat at the wall with a small gap. The wall is great it's not just about for balance, it's a really good way of getting the body to stretch up. So again, we've got that long front body. So go into it if you know what you're doing, otherwise I'm going to continue to talk you through it. So place your elbows and trap the skin of the elbows inwards so you're on the outer elbow. So you sort of slide the elbows from the inside to the outside. So you trap that wobbly skin on the elbow underneath. Place the forearms, make a nice open space of the hands. The thumbs don't need to touch, but do make the fingers completely interlaced into the roots. Keep your wrists upright so they're not rolling in. Press the forearms down, round your back, and lengthen your neck to take your head down and lift your shoulders. Lift your shoulders. And then suck the leg muscles into the hip. Go so the hips are above the shoulders, like when we did our handstand. Move the dorsal spine away from the wall and then reach up with one leg and join it with the other. And straight leg, straight leg. Reach up with one leg and join it with the other. Move your ribs back so your ribs are not pushing forward. Open out the armpits. Keep drawing the ribs back, sides of the waist back, and stretch up. Keep lifting the shoulder muscles maximum and lengthen the legs up. Keep the height in the hips as you come down. When you come down, extend your arms forward into Adho Mukha Virasana. Remember, one of the things that we're trying to do is to get the neck spine to move into the body. And then come up. We're going to do cross bolsters. So 2 blocks underneath the bolster, or work with 2 bolsters. And your feet are going to be at the wall. So if you've got only one bolster, you place the 2 blocks like this and the bolster over it. And then if you're on a sticky mat, you want to have a bit of cloth so that you can slide off easily. And it's really nice to get the legs straight. So once you're over the bolster, you want to press the thighs down. The shoulders don't need to touch the floor. So I prefer if they didn't. So it's more like Viparita Dandasana, not Setu Bandha. So shoulders are off the floor, but get those frontal thighs to press down. And again, feel that really long body. The abdomen is really long, and the sides of the waist are really long. So you don't actually slide off very much. The pelvis lands at the height of the seesaw. Feet are on the floor. Unless you've got a very high bolster, then you may need to have them up on the wall a little bit, but otherwise the feet are on the floor. Press the thighs down. Buttock flesh to the feet. Hips to the armpits. Feel your body breathing. Feel how the way that you're working your legs is enabling your lower abdomen, pelvic area to open. If the legs are soft, the area doesn't open. So rather than just focusing on a puffed chest, focus on the long abdomen. Let the chest be quiet and open up the front pelvis. Also make sure that the way you've turned the arms is enabling the circular action in the chest. So this is the pranayama position of the shoulders. Turn those upper arms, turn the shoulders so the front shoulder releases down towards the floor and the trapezius draws up towards the back. Relax your jaw, your tongue, your throat. One more minute, but feel free to come down at any time. And then with your next exhalation, bend your knees and rest your feet on the floor. Just pause there for a moment. Buttock flesh long, abdomen receding, chest broad, and then slide towards your head till your buttocks are on the ground. So it's quite nice to have a blanket there so that you can slide off. If it's sticky mat, you may just need to lift your hair up so you don't get stuck. Just rest there in a neutral position once your buttocks are down. And then roll to your side to come up. Set up for Sarwangasana, shoulder stand. But before you go up, I want to show you what we're going to do. So set up and then I'll show you. Remember that you place your 4 foam pads, but it doesn't mean that that's going to work for everyone. Whenever I practice, I always have a bit more blanket. So I'll put a blanket over the top and make a smooth edge. And sometimes even if I'm particularly stiff or I haven't done that much before I do shoulder stand, I'll put a second blanket. You know, some people do even more than that. So you've got to just make it work for you so that you can get a good lift. So we're going to be going into Halasana. So make sure you've got that space behind you. Okay, so sit up and let me just show you what we're going to do. So some of you may find that actually it's better for you to work with a chair for your feet in plough pose rather than the floor. So in fact, I'm almost recommending it, but at the same time, you may find the floor is fine for you. So I'm going to show with the floor, but if you think that it will be too hard, you can have bricks there for your feet, or you can have a chair. So when we're in Halasana, the legs suck back into the hip. So they don't just drop back. The legs, the thighs, suck back into the hips. So they suck back into the hips. And then the abdomen lifts, just like what we were doing earlier. And the side body becomes long. But the buttock flesh is releasing towards the feet. It's not completely bolt upright. The buttock flesh does release that way, but the legs suck back into the hips. So even if my feet are further away, I'm still sucking them back into the hips. So we're going to do that first, and then you're going to stretch one leg up, lengthening the inner thigh, and you're going to lift up so much, and then keeping that lift, you're then just going to bring yourself into Sarvangasana, but without lifting this leg too far off the floor, this one. And then down, and the other leg. So I'm just doing Ikapada, one leg up. And you can see I haven't got my hands wholly on my back because it's really hard. So I'm just doing that much. So straighten this leg. So this thigh has to work, otherwise the leg's just soft. Press it back, and this other thigh, and then I come up into Sarwangasana with the legs as split as much as I can. And then we'll come up into Sarvangasana and do it the other way around. And sorry, that was the other thing. One more thing, sorry. Then we're going to practice going from floor, sucking the legs into the hips, raising the legs up. Sucking the legs back into the hips and lowering the feet down. So legs straight. So you may want to use a chair now you've seen what we're doing. So lie down. Because you can see that it's not easy for me either. Lie down and go into Halasana. Interlace the fingers and get right onto the tops of the shoulders, sides of the body long. Change the interlace, do all the necessary adjustments, and feel the outer thigh is drawing back into the hip. But feel the sides of the body are long, from the armpits to the outer hips, legs straight akiko. Support your back with your hands, so skin is easier. So I just use the thumb and index finger first of all, whilst the shoulders wake up, because initially my chest is not open enough. But try and get the fingers pointing towards the spine. Hands right. Your belt's a bit tight, Claire. Is there any way you can loosen it? Just get that buckle and loosen it a little bit. That's it. And bring those hands to the right to the shoulder blades. Now everyone suck the legs back into the hips and raise up the right leg. Ikapada. Try to reach it up as much as possible, especially that thigh. So press the thigh away from you and lift your back. And then without lifting the other leg, just bring that leg to perpendicular, straight up, and the other leg lifts, but not any higher than it needs to, only as much as it needs to lift up in order for your top leg to be straight. Keep both legs straight. So press the lower leg thigh to the ceiling, Ike. The left thigh to the ceiling. That's it. And then bring that same foot down and join the right foot to the floor. Left foot down, right, so both legs are down. And then again, Ikapada, so raise up the left leg, but keep the right foot down. So you're trying to get the legs to separate, but don't bend the knee when you do it. So you've got to really press that thigh. That's it. Split the legs and then bring yourself up into shoulder stand, but the legs are still splitting. So the other leg doesn't lift up very much. Try and keep it low down, but press the thigh up. That's it, everyone. And now get that right foot back to the floor and lower the left leg. Join the feet. Now we're going to come up to Sarwangasana with straight legs. So to go, oh, actually no, go up with one leg each. It's easier to come down. So stretch up one leg and reach it up and then join it with the other. See how tall you are. Roll the thighs in, stretch up the inner leg from the inner thigh to the inner heel. Spread the soles of the feet. Make sure your weight is back on the elbows. Relax your jaw and throat. So this is Jalandhara Bandha, the chin lock that we use for pranayama. So adjust your shoulders. So the outer corners of the shoulders are going down. The seventh cervical is lifting up. The shoulder blades are into your back. Trapezius is drawing up to your waist. Collarbones are really broad and the throat is receding and relaxed. Then Halasana, trying to go to Halasana with straight legs. So keep the legs squeezing together and extend the legs behind you and suck the thighs towards the hips to bring the feet to the chair or the floor. Suck the thighs to the hips. And then to go back up, suck the thighs to the hips. If you don't want to, it's fine. You can leave it out. You can do one leg at a time. Suck the thighs to the hips. Straight legs. Suck the thighs to the hips. Almost draw the hips further back away from, so draw the hips back. That's it. So hips to the wall, Julia, towards where your elbows are, and then you'll go up. That's the way to do it. You're nearly there. And then exhale to come down. So you can come down with both legs straight or come down your normal way. Support your legs, Akiko, when you come down, when you take the belt off. Then find a position to rest in for 10 seconds, either head on the blocks or head and shoulders off the blocks. And then Uttanasana, so you can just sit up on your shoulder stand support and grab a bolster or something for your forehead, and then come through. That's it. So with the concave back stage, you're getting that length from the hips to the armpits, shoulder blades moving in. Spread the soles of the feet to the hands or the belt and lengthen the abdominal area up. So it's the abdomen that lifts, and then it's the abdomen that lengthens as we extend forwards along the legs and rest the forehead to the bolster or the chair. If it doesn't happen straight away, give yourself a bit more time or take a higher support, working more in the concave back stage. Rest the forehead. If you're not liking the props under the buttocks, remove them. And then inhale to come up. Let's lie down in Shavasana. Keep your 4 blocks and your blanket handy for later after the Shavasana. We'll do some sitting. Lie down, extend the legs, release them away from each other. Release the arms away from the sides of the trunk. Allow your body to soften and release. 5 minutes here. resting your awareness on your body breathing. And bring your awareness now from your breathing to the surface of your skin. And then rest your hands to your front body. And roll to your right side. And then come up to sitting. So take your 4 foam pads and place them like this. Not like this, but like this, so they're a nice wide support. I put a blanket on top, but you don't need to. And then sit right to the back of it, so that when you're cross legs, your thighs are supported. And then have a rolled up blanket that you can place for your shins. So we're sitting in Sukhasana with the shins supported and the buttocks are right back on the blocks. And then stretch your arms wide and be really broad across your chest. So we've established all this length today. So keep those armpits lifting and stretch your arms wide. And then keeping this lift in the armpits and the breadth, keep the elbows quite wide, keep the collarbones wide as you bring the palms together. We're going to continue with Brahmari, the bee breath, with the palms in Atmananjali so we can feel the vibration of the sound in the body, in the mouth. So we're just doing the sound. So keep your throat really soft. I've muted you all, by the way, so you can relax. Keep the throat soft. Keep the circular action in the chest, the trapezius muscle drawing down, and the head erect, so we're not in Jalandhara Bandha. Close your eyes and allow the sound to come, and use your abdominal muscles to squeeze the air out so that you are not just focusing on the mouth, but you're also aware of your abdomen making the sound, making the out breath. Follow the sound, follow the direction of the air in the exhalation. So you're following the movement of your navel as it moves in on the exhalation. force, keep the throat completely relaxed. Keep the chest lifted, because it's an out breath. You'll start to sink and the chest will start to close. So instead, feel the diaphragm is lifting up within as you make the sound. So grow taller with every sound rather than shrinking down. So with this next one, just feel that you're growing tall with the sound. Breathe in, let your tummy be completely free. Just let the abdomen completely relax so that you can breathe in. And just a couple more. Keep the lift in the chest as you rest your hands onto your legs in pranayama position with the palms facing the ceiling. Keep the arms rotating outwards, armpits lifting, skin of the face relaxed. And just be here in Ujjayi Pranayama number 5, noticing your normal inhalations, exhalations, and feeling the resonance of the Brahmari. And then once thoughts start to happen again, bring your attention to the out breath in the abdomen and your in breath in your chest. So you're anchoring your attention by locating your breathing in your body. And once you have a more full feeling of the space without the mental contents, then you don't need to locate your breathing with such emphasis. You can just be with your breathing. So the hands are resting on the legs. And with your inhalations, gently bring your awareness to the surface of your skin. Feel your presence in the room that you're in. Allow the heat, the energy to radiate outwards. Become aware of the objects in the room. So you're really locating yourself where you are. So we have an internal view as well as an external view. And then begin to focus your eyes and then Open your eyes. And now that we have an external view, open the eyes a little more, but still have contact with the internal view. And fold your palms and bow your head to your heart. Offer your prayers and release your hands. Namaste, thank you all. So Ray, I hope you managed to be part with the video off. I hope that that enabled you to have better reception at the end. And have a good evening, everyone, and see you all really soon. And best of luck, Julia, with your new class next week.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me today of in Pavrita Trikonasana was like with the